All right, good morning, everyone. We are live again from the village. I'm Keith Walter. With me today, I've got Nan Danford and Mike Aho, and we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on in the village this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, you want to introduce yourselves while I get the slides up?
Hi, I'm Nan, and I'll be sharing the village updates as well as events that are going on in Fair Oaks and the village. And we also have Mike Aho. Mike, what are you going to share with us today?
Hey, thanks, Dan. Yeah, I'm over here in the clubhouse at the park, and I'll be showing you basically the outside of the building, the new pavements that we've done, the road work, and then the amphitheater as a second segment. So a lot of exciting things going on. Do you want me to start?
All right. So let me just quickly run through the agenda. We've also got some information about what's going on in the village from the Chamber, from FOVAC, from Rotary, and we're going to talk to you a little bit about how you can get involved later. And so, Mike, with that, take it away.
Okay, as mentioned, I'm standing here on the stage inside the community clubhouse. We've got a lot of the electrical, a lot of the structural work done. You can see new lights up there, obviously the new heating and HVAC system and stuff, paint and all of those things. And we'll be redoing the floor here. We still got some materials and stuff out here on the floor, and so we're not going to redo the floor for a little bit, but we'll be redoing the floor, and that will kind of start putting the final touches on this facility. A couple of things that we've been able to do, which is kind of fun. You see right up here, these white pieces that are covered in plastic. They're on both sides of the stage. And then we have two more sets of them in the room. Those are the speaker system for the actual presentations and use of the clubhouse here. So really nice stuff. The other thing I wanted to show, and you're going to see part of it, but is that track, that kind of this rectangular track there, just below the pipes. That is the new screen that'll come down and you'll be able to utilize. Back here behind me are the new windows. We're working on the windows right now, and these were a little hard to get in. They're not, again, something you get at Lowe's, so we had to order these. They're nice windows. They need to be nice windows for commercial purposes. And we're actually sealing some windows. And the reason we're doing that is because they were actually in storage areas that were not accessible at all. For an example, one where the organ is, you had to crawl underneath the organ to get to the window. And so it made more sense to seal that off for security purposes as well as for heating and cooling support for the facility. And the windows themselves, as we were going through them, these windows are put in years and years and years ago. There was dry rot in the framing and all of that. So it took a lot more money than you would just think to pop new windows in because of all the ancillary work that had to be done with them. And so they're doing that, and I'll show you that outside. There's the AV rack, the audiovisual rack there that'll control or manage most of the AV equipment in this facility as we go along. So a lot of good stuff's going on. It's kind of fun to see these finishing touches happen on the facility. I want to show you the outside doors right now. Some of the new windows over there, and one of the old windows still that we were able to retain. New lighting controls. Again, we have to run all of these things through the building, so we don't have conduit on the outside of the building, and that's for aesthetic purposes. Anyway, I'm in the lobby area of the clubhouse, and you can see these window doors. This is a window here. These are the doors, and another window. These are the entrance, the main thing that people see when they come into the clubhouse. And I want to show you the actual doors into the clubhouse. If we can get that tape off. I can't get it off. But anyway, someday I'll show these. I don't want to mess it up for them. But the doors in the entrance area looks outstanding to the clubhouse. So you can see they're framed. And we got those light fixtures there on the outside. And it was real important to make this front door attractive and usable for the public. I'm walking down the ADA ramp for the clubhouse. This was, again, paid for funds through the House appropriations through Representative Omni Berra. So I want to thank him again for that. And here's the scaffolding. As I mentioned, they're doing window work on the exterior, getting the stucco around it. Right up there, that new stucco, that used to be a window that did not have any access to or light penetration for the facility. They're stuccoing now up here. And then another window. And then these are the windows we're retaining up there on the top where the gentlemen are working. And we've got these great decorative tie-ins here that are going on in different places that make the facility look really attractive and nice. A lot of stucco work going on with the windows. We've got the back entrance out here where all of our HVAC, heavy HVAC equipment is stored in the yard. That new wall there is getting secured. And I just wanted to show you as I'm walking on the new pavement for the facility. This is interiorly inside the facility. And these areas right here, these parking areas right here will be ADA spots. And so it will be a easy access for folks who need to utilize those parking spots. And they'll be dedicated to that. There won't be any public parking up here except for the ADA. We just don't have the room for it. And again, a couple more windows being done and the heavy equipment. So you can see we've got all of this work done. And that was done last week. We had done the grading earlier for it. So that work has been completed. We got a lot going on. I'm just going to leave this on as I walk over to the next areas, but I wanted to talk a little bit about road paving. At this time, we've finished Fair Oaks Boulevard and California Avenue. We're currently working on Main Street, which is a small section of pavement, but it's taken a lot of work because of the grade and the subsurface and matching up the grade with the old grade. So it actually blends in and it makes a driving experience tolerable on Main Avenue. And so that's going on as we speak. And then we'll be moving over to Mescal Street, which is in front of the clubhouse. June 5, we move over there, or scheduled to move over there on June 5. And then that will take about 2 to 3 weeks of work. It's a substantial amount of road rebuilding, not just paving, that we have to do. So that's going to start, like I mentioned, on June 5. It's a full closure on Temescal. There'll be no through traffic allowed on it. But there's a lot of access around the village where Temescal it's convenient, but not necessary. So we should be okay. We've been able to pave the connecting walkways here, the concrete walkways for ADA. See the truncated domes, those yellow pads there as part of the ADA requirement. And then now we're connecting around the park here. We're starting some irrigation work in here right now for getting ready for landscaping, which we'll start doing here shortly. I don't have a current schedule on that, but we're doing some of the preliminary work or prep work to start allowing us to do the landscaping here in the front part of the park. I don't have enough information on that to talk about it too much, but I'm heading over to Main Street, as I mentioned, where we're doing some paving. You probably won't be able to see too much because we've got most of the prep work done. But sometimes what happens, and it happened here, we had 65 feet of it. We had 110 feet of it over on California, and we had about 85 feet of it over in on Fair Oaks Boulevard. We have a compaction issue where the soils are just unstable. And so we have to bring in what's called a geomesh and then bring in more dirt and compact that dirt so it meets the compaction standards necessary for good road work. And so that had to be done through that process. And we don't know those soil conditions until we dig it up. Once we dig it up, then it's determined that we need to do this. And so it takes a little more time, but we were prepared for it. And so it does cost a little more money too. But you can see here, they're putting the road base in as we speak, compacting it, wetting it down as needed. And so that makes our roads now not only good for our current use coming up, but also for future use. And as we go forward, if those roads have to be replaced in 15, 20, 25 years, it makes it a heck of a lot easier for that next replacement. So there's that geofabric I was talking about that we put down to help stabilize the soil. and it's just getting ready for pavement. They should be finishing up. I believe they'll be finishing up today on this, and then we still need to stripe it. We need to stripe California and also Park Avenue. So when those get striped, we'll probably be doing this striping too. So anyway, with that, I'm going to turn it back to somebody else. Keith, Nan?
Thanks so much, Mike. Wow, it's really great to see all that progress. I can see so much happening there. So I'm just going to share with you a little bit about the village updates. And the primary one I wanted to share is that the Fair Oaks Village parking lot is open and it is all cleaned up. We had the big day of service out here. Let me turn my video around. And you can see we had all kinds of volunteers come out and help weed and clean up and beautify this parking lot. So it is open and ready for use. You can sign up at the fairoaksvillage.org website to get your own personal code to get into the parking lot. It is gated, fenced and gated, so it's super secure. There are lights in the parking lot as well. Each space is numbered, although when you get your code, you can park at any available space. And we are starting to see the employees of businesses in the village take advantage of it. It's only 325 steps from the intersection of California and Fair Oaks Boulevard, so it is very convenient. And we have our feathered friends here who are very happy we did the cleanup too. There's about a half a dozen chickens in there, if you can see them, that are enjoying the freshly weeded and tilled up grounds there. So we're so excited to have extra parking here in Fair Oaks Village. And I love that chicken right there. If I can, oh, I can't zoom in on him, but take advantage of it. More great things happening in Fair Oaks Village.
Thank you
I
for
think
that,
we're
Nan.
ready to
Mike?
go back, to Mike for the second update.
All right. Well, I'm heading over to the amphitheater right now. I'm going to turn the camera around while I'm walking so you can kind of see what's going on out here. It's a little more interesting than looking at my face. Still a construction zone, so it's still a little tricky getting around. But this is the back entrance to the amphitheater. I should be able to cut through here. New gates going in, new retaining wall, which will have a fence around it. So that tree is in the park side of the facility, and it'll be on the opposite side of the gate fence. That'll go up on top of that retaining wall. I'm inside the amphitheater, exciting stuff here. We've got the seats in, and we've got our seat covers on them, protect them. So I'll pull one of these up, and you can kind of see the seating here. There's old number 39 on the seating, just like a regular seat. Nice stuff here. About 400 plus seats in here for the facility. They're all installed. There's lights to them. We're waiting on the cup holders to come in. They were delayed. Not going to delay the project any, but we'll get those cup holders on the seats, and then this will finish up this part of the project. I think it's a wonderful addition versus the wood benches. The seats are numbered, the rows are numbered. So when we do reserve seating, you'll be able to find your seat. We're still working out the details and all of that. These first two rows are removable, as I've talked about before, and that creates this dance area in front of the stage for those kinds of concerts where you have folks that want to dance. I'm going to see if I can, I think the front two rows here actually have cup holders. Yeah, they do. So there's the cup holders there on the seats. That'll be on all of them once we get the rest of them in. So pretty exciting to have this part done. Covers are nice. They really will protect the seating. Probably protect them from the chickens too, Nan. We got the chickens out running around in here. So it'd be nice to have a little protection so we don't have to clean all of the seats. We'll just have to clean the covers. Or maybe the chickens will stay off the covers, which would be nice. The stage door is all skinned. We got the panels on. It's operational, electrically operating now. And so it's going well back here. Lots of exciting stuff happening back here inside the amphitheater. These seats are custom for us. They don't look custom, but here's the thing. Each row is slightly different because of the arch and because of the width of the row or the length of the row. And so there's some seats, there's 3 different size seats. You wouldn't be able to tell when you're sitting in them, but it allows it to be inconsistently lined. So the aisles are all lined up like that. And so you have some different seating. And so you have a variety of different seats and things like that. They don't stock these like in a warehouse where you can just, again, get them from a Lowe's rack or something, or a Home Depot rack. I'm gonna show you the new paint on the ceiling, the new lighting up here. That's just so cool. Our load dock out there, and the additional stuff that we've got going on in here, all painted now inside. And we still need to skin the inside doors here, finish skinning them. We've got insulation in them. We just need to finish skinning them. They're waiting on some panels that were just a little bit, they were produced a little bit off, so they're waiting for some new panels to come in. All this plywood right here is for the floor, the stage floor. So that is the thing that the stage will work off of. You can see that little lip there. So the stage floor will come up to that lip with the plywood and the flooring material. So that still has to be installed, but we have cleaned this all out. So we're ready to start doing the floor. It's wide open. So they're prepping that to start the floor. We've moved everything into the backstage area. So everything's packed up back here. And all of this stuff is either going to stay here, like those risers. These are the risers and stuff for the Black Box Theater stage. And they'll stay in here, but there'll be other storage in here. But most of this stuff will be out of here as we continue to do our final work in here. I've talked about the insulation a little bit. This facility, again, will be climate controlled. So that makes it very pleasurable for people. And there's just a ton of neat stuff happening inside. The new fire suppression systems. And I wanted to take a quick poke out here. And if you can see them, well, I'll come around and see them, and then you can see them when I come back outside. So walking through the lobby of the Black Box, that's the entrance I just came through for the Black Box. I'm going down to the community rooms that we have. And these could be the green rooms for shows, or they can be used for rentals or meetings and things like that. I'm walking into that room now, and the floor's been laid. Now it doesn't look really great because it's got a lot of marks and stuff on it from the work, but the floor's down in here. We've got our sound panels up, all the electrical outlets. You can see a row of them there, the sink. It's kind of neat to see this starting to happen back in here. So these are 3 rooms here, and they are all dividable. I'm going to open up one of the dividing doors and give you a show of what's going to happen here. So I just opened the dividing doors for the panels, and I'll show you how easy they are to move and bring out. You get the right one. There we go. Now we're moving it out. I'm gonna pull it up a little bit more, open it up, bring it out. I'm doing this all one-handed. So there's the panel, and there'll be enough to go all the way across the room on there. And so that'll divide the rooms into 3. So those are installed, and we're just messing with them a little bit here. But that's it for the inside of the clubhouse. I want to go back to the front and go out to the park real quick, because what we've got going on there is we're starting to install site furnishing. So the picnic tables, the benches, all of those types of things are starting to go in. So you'll be able to see those, and you can see some of them right now. The ones that you're going to see are the 4 tops, or the tables with 4 seats around them. Those are fixed seats around the table, and they're going to be used for, oh, you can just come out there and have a picnic, listen to music from the front stage, the plaza stage, or do any of the other stuff. I wanted to also show a couple of other things out here. You can see this little rock band here. That may look familiar to you. It's the same as the WPA wall in front of the clubhouse. It's that tie-in look that we're trying to do. We're doing that also over here in the new patio area for the entrance to the amphitheater and the black box. You can see the rock here on the wall. And if you look, get a little closer, you can see the end caps here on top. These end caps are all over the facility, matching up the clubhouse, the backstage, the amphitheater, all of our outside work. So aesthetically, it starts being very cohesive. And you can see that it's not a cap there on the top of the rock, but it's like the rolled edge of the cap. So it continues that look. Our designers did an incredible job. And I think people will be impressed with what this all looks like as we finish up. It's just incredible stuff. We're doing the stucco out here, getting ready for that. That's why the plastic's on the stairs. The railings, they'll be painted. And then these columns will be stuccoed. So I wanted to walk out here to the site furnishings so you can get a vision of these a little bit. I like this idea that we have with the site furnishings. They're movable, but it takes a crew of 3 or 4 people to move them. So we're not worried about people stealing them. They're awful heavy. But what it allows us to do is have some flexibility in the seating. Probably most of the time they'll be sitting out like this, but there'll be times when we're doing events, activities, we need this open space that we'll be moving these tables and stuff around. So great stuff here. This is not wood. It's kind of a metal. Sounds like wood, but it's not. And so they put these in. We were able to buy all this site furnishing. We have probably, close to $1 million in site furnishings, maybe under that, maybe 900,000. But what we were able to do is to buy this early and had it shipped early. We stored it here for a couple of years. So in essence, we've saved probably over 15% of the current cost of these tables by ordering them early and storing them on site. Wasn't easy, and we had to keep moving them around, but we did save some money on that. So it's kind of nice to do. Anyway, you'll be sitting here in the plaza, and maybe there'll be some music where that guy's walking across the stage there. Maybe you're just sitting enjoying out here. There'll be overhead lights off of these poles, market lights up there, and you're right across the street from the village. So, Nan? Keith, any questions?
Awesome. No, it looks great. Looks really great. Can't wait till it's open and we can use it.
Yeah, good question. Not question yet, but good statement. We're right now still scheduled for August 8th to open, and that can still move. We don't control a lot of these things. We don't control occupancy permits or inspections or things like that. We try and catch them all as we go, and we have caught a bunch, but you never know what's going to happen. We have a big one coming up, big inspection coming up this week with our accessibility. It's not ADA, it's the California portion of ADA, if you will. And it has different requirements than ADA, and hopefully the designers and builders and everybody else got 100% on it. More than likely, there'll be a few small changes, and I'm okay with that. Hopefully it's nothing major, but we'll get through those. We're doing it early, so if there's a major change, we can address it and continually move forward. All right?
All right, awesome. Thank you so much, Mike. So let's go now to village updates, Phobec News, actually. And so the biggest thing in Phobec News is our upcoming barbecue. This is the 7th annual Fair Oaks Village Benefit Barbecue. It is scheduled for July 26th, the end of July, a midsummer barbecue, perfect. The 7th annual one, it is Phobec's biggest fundraiser of the year. As always, there'll be all kinds of delicious home-cooked foods. The barbecue pro, David Hill, will be doing the meats, and Phobec members will be supplying the rest of the homemade goodies to eat, including desserts and salads and all kinds of wonderful stuff. We also have great raffle items and some amazing silent auction items. This year, again, we are having a 5-day mountain retreat at a lodge in Calaveras County that sleeps 16 people. And we are getting a bicycle from Bob's Cycle Center, who happens to be celebrating their 70th anniversary this year. So we're super excited about those silent auction items, but there also will be all kinds of wonderful raffle items from the village merchants and around Fair Oaks. And as our biggest fundraiser, we definitely need volunteers to help make everything go smoothly. So you are welcome to come and sign up and be a part of this great event. The link there is on the slide, and it's volunteersignup.org events, and it's the FOVEC barbecue. So follow that link, or you can go to the FOVEC website, fairoaksvillage.org, and find the link there to sign up for volunteering opportunities there. You could help prep the food, help set up. There's all kinds of things you can do. Be a bartender, help serve food, direct traffic. So many things that you can help do to make this event very special and to be a part of your community and have a really great time. All right. So then upcoming village events in June.
And
So
then
on,
before we go on,
ahead.
just let's talk about the fact the chamber continues to have their regular farmers market out at the Fair Oaks Park. That's every Tuesday. I was by there earlier this week. Looked like they had a beautiful weather and a great turnout. And really quickly, something we haven't talked about in the past, but we wanted to make people aware as the Rotary year comes to an end. We've got a couple of interesting speakers coming up. Next Monday, Derek Clark, who is the new owner of the Palm Tree Brewing, which is going to be opening directly across from the park there at the corner of California and Fair Oaks Boulevard, is going to be talking about what he's chosen Fair Oaks Village, their plans are for when they open, and some of his background with his now wife partner in terms of charitable giving that they've done in the community, because they've been very active in the area for a while. I think it's also worth noting that it's going to be opening that following Saturday on the 7th out at the Fair Oaks Food Bank Farm, which is located, if you're not aware, right next to the food bank over in Orangevale. The Rotary has donated a greenhouse, which will allow them to dramatically increase their food production. If you're not aware, the farm grows an awful lot of the fruits and vegetables that are served at the food bank. And they've been looking at a way to increase production. And this will allow them to farm all year long. And then the following Monday, the Deputy District Attorney is going to be out to talk about human trafficking, which, if you've been following the news, remains a significant problem all over the world, and it actually is quite a problem in our community. And if you're not aware, it's a great opportunity to come out and learn a little bit more about that. And with that, I'll turn it back to you to talk a little bit about what else is coming up in June.
Hey, real quick though, I'd like to just clarify something. The actual farmers market is actually Fair Oaks Recreation and Park District. So
my apologies. Thank
no
you.
problem. Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right, thanks so much, Keith. Yes, great updates from the Rotary. Lots of wonderful stuff going on. And I didn't realize that the Rotary donated to the a greenhouse to the Fair Oaks Orangevale Food Bank Farm. That's awesome. That's very awesome. So events coming up in the village on June 8th, which is a Sunday. Scenes from Sailor Bar art exhibit is happening at the Village Tutors. That's from 3 to 5:30 p.m. and it is hosted by Project Sailor Bar, which they are trying to keep cars from driving from Illinois to Fair Oaks Village down at Sailor Bar. And then Tuesday, June 10th is the monthly open mic night at Fair Oaks Coffee House and Deli. That's from 6 to 8:30 p.m. Wednesday, June 18th, this is the big celebration of Bob's Cycle Center. It's an official ribbon cutting and celebrating 70-year anniversary of Bob's Cycle Center being in Fair Oaks. And if you grew up in Fair Oaks, as I did, I'm sure all of your bicycles when you were kids came from Bob's Cycle Center. All of our family's bicycles did. And it's always been a fun memory to be with Bob's Cycle Center. And then Wednesday, June 25th is Permaculture Fair Oaks monthly meeting. The last Thursday or Wednesday of the month, they do a meeting at the Village Tutors, introducing people to permaculture so you can learn all about what permaculture is. And they have started a garden, a permaculture garden over at the No Barking Parking or property there, a Sunrise. And permaculture is where you plant the plants so that eventually no maintenance is needed. They help and benefit each other with shade and moisture and all kinds of wonderful things. And to go along with Bob's Cycle Center, there's the official flyer and logo for 70 years of service for Bob's Cycle Center. So if you're around on June 18th, that will be a great thing to attend and really one of the pillars of our community as far as retail businesses go. Few have been around as long as they have. And next, there are the recurring events. These are weekly recurring events in the village. So every Tuesday at 7 is a spiritual class at Blossoming Path that are only $10, and there's a different topic each week. And most Wednesdays at 8:30, there's a dog walk in the village. It meets at the corner of California Avenue and Fair Oaks Boulevard. Come with your dog, get to know some new neighbors, and walk your dog around the village. Every Thursday at 7 p.m. is the Unity Run at Wild Runners. That's been going on for a few years now and just keeps growing and growing. It's for all levels. They do a short run and just camaraderie and unity. And Thursdays at 6:30 are trivia nights at Brahma Bar and Grill. They have fun prizes, and it's really a great time to test your knowledge of trivia and win some things there at Brahma. And then most Thursdays at 7, there is an alternative spiritual class at Blossoming Path. Please check with them for more details. And sometimes it is a drum circle as well. Saturday mornings at 7 a.m. is another run at Wild Runners. Again, just like the one on Thursday nights. It's for all levels and just is camaraderie and exercise together in our beautiful environment here. And then on Sundays, the Biker Bar is hosting bike rides. And those start out from the village and go wherever. Check with them for more details. I've been here after the rides on Sundays, and they usually meet at the deli and have some coffee and snacks after the ride. So be sure to check those out as well. Keith, you want to talk about getting involved with FOVEC?
I would be happy to. So I'm going to take a moment just to say, for those of you who are watching, FOVEC has been around for a long time now. And I think people don't always understand the role that FOVEC plays. It's really very simple. FOVEC is an all-volunteer group that's here to try and make the village a better place. And the only way we can do that is through the input and participation of the people who live and work in Fair Oaks. And so we encourage everyone for, just a few dollars a month, less than a cup of coffee a month, you can become a member. Nan talked earlier about the major fundraiser for the year is coming up in just a little over a month, and we need volunteers for that. So as we sometimes say in Rotary, time, talent, and treasure. Those are the three things that we're always looking for help on. And I would encourage you, talk to any of us, come to a meeting, or just go online to the website. And please, your contributions, whether donations or membership, mean the world in terms of our ability to continue to do things like this and the parking lot and all of the other projects that FOVEC continues to do for the community.
Awesome. And then we always want to recognize our sponsors, and you can sponsor as well. There are 4 levels of sponsorship. The platinum level at $2,500, gold at $500, silver at $250, and bronze at $100. Our sponsors right now that we have are Rich Desmond. He's a double platinum sponsor. We have the Village Tutors. We have Ken Friedman, Nan Danford Properties, and William Charles Salon. Then in silver sponsorship, we have Sherry Lobus with Lion, now with Windermere Real Estate, EJ's Little People, Evangeline's Downtown, and the Fair Oaks Presbyterian Church. And then you can see our bronze sponsors there as well. American River Bike Rentals, or Raft Rentals, excuse me, Arbor Financial, Zoom Vacations, Friends of Sailor Bar, Gwen Pickering, Palomino Boutique, Regina Johnson, and Super Quick Market up there at Fair Oaks Boulevard across from the apartments. As Keith mentioned, there are all kinds of things to volunteer with about. Phobic meeting and events. Our board meetings are always the first Wednesday of the month at 5 o'clock, and that is at the Old Fair Oaks Library at 4200 Temescal Street. And you don't need to be a member to come to our board meetings. They are open to everyone. And you also don't need to be a member to volunteer. We would love to have you join us to have fun at one of our events. And we look forward to seeing you at a meeting or an event. And that's it for today's update. We will see you next month on June 25th at 8:30 a.m. to give you a new update on what's going on in Fair Oaks Village. Thanks so much, everyone.
Thank you all.
Bye for now.